Good morning, student. This is Harshal teacher from St. Thomas Bethany Convent School, and today we are going to learn the last lesson of this year, The Old Man and the Sea. This is the book review. Means how was the book? This is a novel, and the review was written in this lesson. So now we will see how to write the book review. So this is the review of The Old Man and the Sea. This book is written by Ernest Hemingway. Okay, so an old man, an experienced Cuban fisherman, has a run of terrible bad luck and is unable to catch any fish for 84 days. So this is a story of who is an experienced fisherman, but his because of his bad luck he could not catch any single fish in 84 days. His young and devoted apprentice, Manloin, means apprentice means the person who work for another in order to learn something. That is called the apprentice. And Manloin has been forced by his parents to start working with another fisherman. The old man resolved to sell out further than all the other fishermen and attempt to catch the really big fish. On the 85th day, he succeeded in hooking a marlin with his bet, but the marlin is too strong for him and start pulling the boat. Marlin, a large kind of fish which cannot be taken out from the sea by him, and it is that much big and heavy that it started pulling the boat itself. The Old Man and the Sea is a story of old man's struggle with the marlin and his later battle against sharks. So this is a story about that old fisherman, how he struggle with the shark, how he fight with the shark and the marlin. Okay, then the social and historical context of this story, that is Hemingway's novel is based on real events and it also draws heavily on his own life. And he had experience of fishing in a Cuban water, and like the old man he was also a fan of a baseball. Okay, so when while writing the book review we have to write some social and historical point of view of the writer. So like a Cuban waters he like, and the old man also a fan of a baseball. He worked for the Red Cross during the First World War and was injured by the shrapnel when he was in Italy. Shrapnel, a hollow projectile containing a bullet. It is containing the bullet, and because of that he got injured. Hemingway always talk about the need to struggle against the defeat or death, and how determination and endurance can help one to win in this struggle. And he is always talking about how much you are eager to live and how you could fight just because of this just because of your struggle and your battle towards yourself and something else, and how you succeeded in this struggle. The old man is at the end of the novel very near death, but we know that the story of his suffering and loss will live on in the memories of the people of his village. Ultimately, his story becomes one of a triumph. Triumph means joy. One of a triumph because the tales of his life will live on even after his death. Okay, so whatever the story he is telling in his novel, so he is living after the death also. The novel was published in 1952 when people were trying to recover from the mass destruction wrought by the two world wars. What means worked? And this tale of endurance and ultimate triumph immediately struck a chord with the readers. So, because of the two world war, all the peoples must have lose their faith, must have lose their hope of living. And this story is always been motivational work for them, those who are reading these stories, and they immediately pick up the surrounding of the story, they immediately pick up the bits of that story, and because of that they could live in the in their life. Then writing style, and after that this is a history about the novel and how it is enjoyable, how it is worked together, it was written in this. And after that, how the Hemingway's writing style. Hemingway's language is simple and pithy. Pithy means very brief and full of vigor. He mostly writes in short and straightforward sentences and practice an extreme economy in his use of word. Okay, so he's always using a nice word and expression while writing the novel. The simplicity is despective, and a reader can read his work again and again and find new layers of meaning every time. Then, after this is about the writing style of the novel. After that, my thoughts. So, you have to write your own overview, your own thought about the novel. I first read this novel years ago when I did not understand it at all and was left unimpressed. In spite of this, a vivid image remained with me. An old man holding on his fishing line with the last of his strength. See, 84 days that old man is struggling. It means 84 days he is holding his breath, his deadline, and 85th day he could catch one fish, that is marlin. An old man holding on his fishing line with the last of his strength. Then recently I read this book again and was extremely moved. The formidable strength of the old man's character. Formidable means causing fear. The quiet devotion of empathetic and Manolin, and the relationship between the two are heartwarming. Hemingway's description of the sea and the creature of the water are beautiful. The marlin fights for its life desperately, and it's hard to know whether our sympathies should lie at the old man or with the marlin. Then, but as the novel progresses, the old man and the marlin are inseparably linked because both stand for the same ideals, and that is a noble struggle against the destruction. So, this novel gives an idea about how to do the struggle and how to fight with the situation until and unless you win. And should not lose your hope, should not lose your patience, and because of that, you could achieve the success that teaching, that moral give this novel. And after this, like this you have to write the book review, that is the old man and the sea. And the old man is struggling for the fishing activity in the sea, and 85 days he could catch one fish. This is the summary of this lesson. And if we talk about the central idea of this lesson, that is Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea is a modern morality tale and allegory that reveals that Santiago is an old Cuban fisherman who had an unlucky streak, and he finally catches an enormous marlin, but sharks gradually eat it as he attempts to bring it back to the shore. The novel is based on the real event, and it draws the heavily on Hemingway's own life. The novel was published in 1952 and at the end of the World Wars, and it clearly depicts a tale of endurance and ultimate triumph. And Hemingway's language is simple and pithy, and he writes in a short and straightforward sentence and practice an extreme economy of words. So this is the central idea of this lesson. And if we'll talk about the summary, in The Old Man and the Sea, An aging Cuban fisherman struggled to make his living. He hasn't caught anything in 84 days and has lost his apprentice, that is Manolin. And to redeem himself, he ventured far out to catch a great marlin. When hauling it to shore, the carcass is revoked by shark, and Santiago returns to shore with only a skeleton. This is a book review, and when the writer of the review read in the first time, he was not impressed. Hemingway's description of the sea and the creature of the water are beautiful. As the novel progresses, the old man and the marlin are inseparably linked because both stand for the same and ideals. That is a noble struggle against the destruction. So, this lesson, as I already talked, this gave us the morality, this gave us a moral how to live a life. I hope all of you have understood the lesson and how to write a book review. And this is the point of view of the writer. First he don't like the book, but afterwards when he realized that this book is really helpful for living the life, and after the two world war, this gave us a real triumph and motivation to live the life. So I hope all of you have understood this lesson. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can ask me afterwards in the WhatsApp session. Thank you very much, student.